Welcome, everybody! Woo! My name is Brenda Brink. I live near Huxley, and I'm running for House District 49. Dave Djear is going down. We're going to have Secretary of State candidate Deidre Djear. Is she handy here? Oh, there she's right there. If you want to give us about 5 minutes or so, how about that?
All right, Story County, are we ready for June 5th? We don't have any choice, we gotta be. Well, I just want to thank you all for coming tonight. This is an excellent turnout for a great cause. I would like to thank the chair, Jan, for giving me the opportunity to speak and for leading you all through this truth because we've got a little bit of a trek ahead of us, but we're definitely going to make it happen. I'm Deidre Djear, and I'm running for Secretary of State. Just to give you a little background on me, I live on the southeast side of Des Moines, and I'm a small business owner. Started that business in 2008 to help other businesses get started and to help other businesses grow. And 10 years later, we've helped over 250 business owners and nonprofits, and we're happy to be able to do that work. A little bit of what I also do is voter engagement. Worked on the Obama campaign in 2012, traveled throughout the state, getting hard-to-reach populations to vote, and also worked on some school board races as well, and have really developed an infatuation with the voting process and getting people rallied to the polls. You know, oftentimes we disagree on so much, even as Democrats. You know, fried chicken, baked chicken, chili or soup, Iowa State or Iowa. No, don't say that here, huh? But I'm ready for us to all stand and agree on this issue around voting. You know, when we look at our small elections like school board and city council, on average, 5% of folks come out to vote for school board, 10% for city council. Our kids came home with a test that said that, you know, some room for improvement, right? Definitely. We can definitely do better than that. You know, when I worked on the Obama campaign, I heard every single excuse that exists under the sun as to why people choose not to vote. But I also heard their hearts as well. You know, I'd knock on doors and they'd say, I'm not voting for the president because my sidewalk hasn't been fixed in 2 years. And obviously there was a disconnect. There was a disconnect. You know, they had something that they really needed to happen for them and for their neighborhood, but they did not know how to make that happen. They did not know how their vote could translate into progress for their communities. You know, we have a Secretary of State right now that has kind of dialed us back as it relates to progress in the realm of voting. You know, the very first election, George Washington, only white male landowners could vote. Look at how far we've come. Look at how far we've come. You know, women can now exercise their right to vote. African Americans can exercise their right to vote. Our students can exercise their right to vote. And so when we have a Secretary of State that wants to create barriers for people as it relates to getting to the ballot box, now I decided I wasn't going to stand on the sideline this go round. I wasn't going to stand on the sideline. Voting is our most fundamental right. It's our most precious right that we have. You know, at the end of the day, when we're done ranting on Facebook and when we're done protesting, we're going to exercise our right to vote. And as Secretary of State, I'm ready to give people a reason to vote again. Because for so many reasons, folks are disengaged with the political process. We've got disadvantaged communities not knowing how to access the ballot box. And when we have a Secretary of State that spent so much time and resources on trying to find fraudulent Iowa voters, all the while Russia was the one we should have been pointing our finger at, we can do better than that. We can do better than that. Tell you what I'm going to do as Secretary of State. Number one, I'm going to increase our voter turnout in all of our elections. You clap to that because we need it to happen. in the same breath that we're just as involved in all of our elections, from the small ones to the big ones. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that voting is accessible and fair to all Iowans. That means folks with disabilities, folks with lack of transportation, rural Iowa, urban Iowa, anybody and everybody who's an eligible voter in our state is going to be able to connect with the Secretary of State's office, because each and every Iowan deserves an opportunity to be invited to the ballot box. And each and every Iowan deserves leadership that is going to put aside partisan politics and make sure that the vote maintains its sanctity. Because right now we don't have a Secretary of State that believes in that. We don't. And although this is a partisan race, it has nonpartisan implications. And we have to ensure that we are not meddling with people's votes. The last thing that I want to do as Secretary of State, I talked about being a business owner. Right now that office is like a rubber stamp, stamping people's articles of incorporation, taking their money, quadrupling their fees, and literally saying, go about your business. We have over 260,000 small businesses in our state. Any small businesses in the house? All right. Any people shop at small businesses? Any people work at small businesses? They provide jobs for almost 50% of our workforce. We cannot afford to allow them to fall by the wayside. So as they're coming into the Secretary of State's office, when I'm there, I'm going to make sure that not only do they have the opportunity to start their business, but they're going to be connected with the resources to help them grow. You know, I'm Deidre Djear. It's a funny name. I say it a lot, but it's going to be on the ballot, folks. And I need you all to look for it, work your way down that ballot. After you're done finding your gubernatorial candidate, look for Deidre Djear. I'm going to end in our state motto, and we're going to say it together. Our liberties we prize, and our rights we shall maintain. Our liberties we prize, and our rights we shall maintain. We all have a liberty as entrepreneurs to start, but as Secretary of State, I'm going to give our entrepreneurs the means to stay in business. We all have the right to vote, folks. And when you elect Deidre Djear as Secretary of State, you bet your bottom's dollar that I'm going to give people a reason to vote again. Look for me. Thanks for your support, and I look forward to your call.